Beauregard Rippey out here at the 3699 Ranch. Do a quick lawn and garden video. The first Sunday morning of August, about 8 o'clock. We've had plenty of rain, and this hasn't had any fertilizer, so they really greened up very nice. And the second cut of hay's up on this field anyways. It was quite an ordeal getting it up. The Mexican sunflowers are on this end. They have a head on this guy, but they're where the Zenna should have been, and the Zenna is where the Mexican sunflower should have been. So a big disappointment that I mixed my seed up. It wasn't a total loss, and I'm gonna try again. But it's gonna take me another year, and I'm trying to finish projects up over here, and then I start half a dozen others. But this guy had the oil leak in the back. We had it taken apart over the winter. I have 70 hours on it this year. This is I had these boards put away for 40 years, rough sawn, for my barn repair. I'm in the middle of a barn repair, had a few painting days. So I have that leak fixed, and now I have a leak up here from the engine. 1,070 hours. The sump, the cases come loose. All these bolts were quarter turn loose. This pipe was loose. I Teflon taped and tightened this guy, and I replaced this plastic cap after 1,070 hours. It was $5, and so far I don't have the O-ring for it, but it's gonna get an O-ring. Next time I have, the oil draining out, which is only twice a year, with about 110 hours a year maybe. I'm at 70 already. This oil leak is fixed. This washer right here and this spacer, it was assembled wrong with the thin washer that tore my seal out, caused me to lose my fluid on a sealed transaxle. So I had to take it all apart, replace the seals. This one leaked again, and then I was able to replace it again in 20 minutes because I didn't have to refill and replace the belt, and I didn't have to take it all apart. And but it was leaking a little, which you can't have that on a sealed unit. And this seal kit was $9 or $10. And the second seal did successfully seal that leak 100%. It's gonna be a nice day. My onion harvest, the candy apple reds, the Texas super sweet, yellow sweet Spanish over here. Pretty happy with the onions again. There are some jumbos in there, 1.35. Biggest ones being the yellow sweet Spanish, 1.6 almost, 1.5 and a half this guy. And I used to grow competition onions, and that's just kind of too big for one guy. That one's right for potatoes and ham, soup size. But that would be plenty for all the hot dogs I could eat in a day and a half or something, And then I had poison ivy on this guy when it fell down, and I cut it up last year. So this year I really cut it up and brought it up here. And I've been able to fight off the poison ivy with dishwashing liquid in the shower. And but last year I had poison ivy every week for 4 months. 12 times I had poison ivy, and this year I've only had it once, and it was before Mother's Day, like really in the beginning. So fighting off the poison ivy. Gonna have some cookwood there, wild cherry. Spray painted these commercial. They have crazy wheels on them to push around your garage. They came out of a little corner market, but they were kind of rusty from maybe the 60s. And so I got that project done. But these are Chinese hemlocks. from seed. Started them in the spring here around Memorial Day. Pretty happy with those. My barn project over here. Did painting, made it nice, restored my sign, did some trim work, but this trim piece here was busted out, and I'm in the middle of replacing that with that wood. I'm actually pressure washing it because it's been put away so long. And then putting around with Harlow and my Jeep, and the gas line started leaking. I repaired it, and when I was shaking it, it started leaking again, and then I repaired it again, and it started leaking again. So I've ordered a new gas line for the Jeep. The beater, the birds have left. I haven't had the garden hose out here in 2 weeks anyway, easily. The sweet corn, I'm still waiting on tomatoes, and I'll be tired of them soon enough. I'm not big on tomatoes. But they went over the top at the whatever garden. The second flash of sweet corn, it's small, but that'll be more than I need to do with. I mean, I've seen some humongous sweet corn patches. The wildflowers, I'm really happy with the wildflowers. I've had plenty of good pickles that I've been enjoying. All different. Nice green tomatoes. And then the pickles, I sistered them in here. Kind of next to the corn. Like that pollen on them. Beautiful sweet corn. Super time of the year. And yeah, thrilled with my wildflowers. This is like the biggest, whatever it is. I guess it would. Now that's a Zenna for sure, but this one, that would be the biggest Zenna I've ever seen. This one has leaves like a Zenna, but that's not a Zenna, is it? Most Zennas are purple, like that one. My fennel got ate by some critters or something. It was gone, so it got burned up by the sun. That little fennel I bought, so that was $2 shot. And then I bought some garlic at the store, and I just put some garlic in there, and it's a no-show so far. The 42 pepper plants, super loaded with the Hungarian hot wax, and they're super sweet bananas in there too. The serranos, they just overpower my food. They need a warning label on them serranos, but that's what they had at the store. A few of these guys on the end. This looks almost like a weed, but I'm anxious to see what this one's going to do. A little velvety. But they kind of sprawled out on me. Ponderosa pines over here from seed. Not even 2 years old yet. Very good example there. A little more bushier ones there. Growing trees from seed. Ponderosa pine really aren't available anywhere either, so if you don't grow them yourself, you're not going to have any. Went to the store and bought 6 late cabbage, and when I come home I had 8 plants in the things. So I want to cut up 2 and put them in the freezers. I'm going to have you know, like 2 1-gallon Ziplocs full of chopped cabbage, a couple of chopped bell pepper, and maybe a couple, because of my favorite, the cherry bombs, and then the quart-sized Ziplocs of the chopped peppers in the freezer. And then your freezer's full, you know, because I mean you need to have meat and ice cream and ice. But yeah, I'm gonna have a couple cabbage in there just for convenience, all ready to go. And eating, the serranos are too hot, and these are my heat, the cherry bombs, and they're still green. They're loaded with cherry bombs, unloaded with bells. I've had minimal leaf turn. Very happy with my peppers. And it's a later thing. Peppers are 215 day till mature fruit. My weedy beans and buggy too. Looks like I'm gonna be eating some sweet corn today. A little bit of a wreck. A spot in here that was too big for one thing and too small for another. I didn't know what to do with that spot. My Florida weave. Made it through a couple pretty good storms. That's a good example of a Zena there, isn't it? I think. The bug people, entomologists from Ohio State University, I asked them, should I grow wildflowers? Because I have hay out here. And they said no. For bees, and you know, I'm not really doing anything for bees and bugs with the wildflowers because I have hay fields and everything. That was my answer from the professionals. I'll go again to the Farm Science Review and ask the university folks. The birds went back to Argentina already on me. It was a good year back at the pond with the ducks and everything, and the fish. My little toolbox I put out there with my new fence this year so far. Trying different things on that. I just put a job box out there and see how handy that comes in that little aluminum box. But that's my garden here the first Sunday in August with Beauregard Rippey at the 3699 ranch. Thanks for watching.